Welcome back. It is Issues at Hand. Peter Kibazo with Professor Kihura Nkuba. What's the other one?
Kihura Nkuba.
Kihura Nkuba. What does Nkumhayo mean?
It means one who was given the community to serve.
And Rachumika?
One who sets fire to things. I like
and Kihura Nkuba?
It means one who handcuffs lightning.
And what happened to Pius?
Oh, I don't know that one. Please.
The first time I knew you were a Pius in Kumuhayo.
No. Please don't even say that on the show. Especially when I have a stick.
You know, today I talked to a friend of mine that said that
a name identifies you with your land, language, and culture. I could never name myself after my colonizers. I could never name myself after Christianity. No way.
When you worked at Radio Uganda, you were a Pius in Kumuhayo?
No, I was not.
When did you go?
I was born Kihura Nkuba. I was given the name Kihura Nkuba. And don't bring that even as the subject of discussion. You know, every time I come to your show, your rates go up. You know, so
I don't know about that.
You need me to be on this show. You know, I am probably the most important person you will ever put in this chair.
You need me to talk to the people.
The type of knowledge that I represent, you have no one who can give you this information. The only few people who would know this, like Keith McCann, would be too scared to come and say this in public because his masters, the World Bank and International Monetary Fund, would fire him.
Let's get back to development and African Renaissance. You were talking about gold standards.
Yes.
And of course, people that will talk about the evolution of money will tell you about the barter, the exchange, and ultimately the gold standard.
The money, the use of gold as money started in Africa, started in West Africa. That is why, and it was from West Africa that money was taken to England. The first money that England used was called the guinea. Why was it called the guinea? Because it was the gold that came from Guinea, where gold was used for trade. So before that, the debem, which was used in ancient Egypt, extended up to here, up to Busoga. So if you are talking about trade and money as currency, gold and silver, it was Egypt, it was Ethiopia, it was West Africa. Europe was out of it. So we have that culture. It is within us. Except we are afraid of using it, or we don't know that it existed within us. So there is no way, no reason why the Uganda shilling should be pegged to the American dollar, to a piece of paper, complete paper, with graphics on it. It can be printed on Room Street, except Kihura might have a few issues with that. And that's why they arrest you. But it is not backed by gold. I know you are talking about, there's a place, Fort Knox, where they say they used to keep the gold. It's not there. There's nothing there. In fact, America stops using it about the 50s, when by that time the whole gold was gone. There's nothing there. Right now, it is just printed.
Is the pound pegged against against gold?
No, the pound is not pegged against gold. But Britain has some gold reserves, but the pound is not pegged against gold.
Get away from money and you say
and
you
banks. Banks, yes.
What
if I sorted out, I would make sure that everything that we use in this country is produced in this country. Which would mean that Chinese, or God knows, whatever chair you got that chair from, or this one, this is a very uncomfortable chair. I mean, if you had gone to Zambia, when you're going to Bugolobi, there are brothers that make chairs there. If you had gone there, they would have sorted you out. If you're going to Tanzania among the Makonde, they would have carved a chair for you. A chair with your own majesty and grandeur. But now you are sitting with this. This is not even a leather. This is some synthetic. And then did you pay money for this kind of thing, or was it donated?
Your clothes can't be manufactured here.
This is from Nigeria. It's made in Nigeria. The money remains with my people. So I would make sure, I could give some time, a little bit of time, maybe 2 years, to say, okay, get away, get a car, get whatever, get a plane, and you are jeering and laughing at Korea at North Korea. They make their own plane, they make their own train, they make their own air conditioning, they make their own refrigerator, they make their own cutting tools, they make everything. Now, why would you jeer at a country like that? Because you are sympathizers? You know, they don't like it? Does that mean that you shouldn't? Can you imagine short people doing all those things and a tall man like you doesn't? Yeah? You just have an appetite for sweaters from Germany and France. Shame on you. You remind me of some, recently I've been visiting most of these kingdoms. I've been guests of royalties. You sit there with...
you haven't visited my king, have you?
No, no, but I won't be surprised that he is not like the rest of the kings. They all sit there in their woolen jackets, coats, and trousers, and opening Coca-Cola, and they don't even have a traditional drink. I asked among the Langi, I want a traditional Langi drink, and they said, the woman who used to know how to make juice from sorghum, he died 2 years ago. So what do they drink now? Coca-Cola. So I would make sure that we drink food, we eat food that we produce, that is made in our country. We only drink what is within our economy and use resources within our economy. Why should the Bank of Uganda hold a function and they are drinking whiskey from Scotland? Why? And then it's our money. They are spending our money, but they don't want to buy our products. You know Maggie Chigozi? She used to be a head of Revenue Authority. She would sit there. Investment Authority. She would sit there wrapped in Thai clothes and Dubai garments, and she'd say, "Buy Ugandan, buy Ugandan, buy Ugandan." What a joke! So I would make sure, and if I was a president, I would make sure that no product, no furniture, no cutlery made outside my economy goes to State House. When you go to State House, it's all Chinese. Yes, all furniture there in Entebbe is Chinese.
Possibly the building was constructed by Chinese as well.
Well, okay, they constructed the building. They didn't come with the cement. We got it from here. They didn't come with the sand. I can understand if he's looking for something that we don't have. Then you're going to say, okay. But what about a chair? We can't even make our own chair. And remember when the president, he came to power, our Pan-African president, he was saying, no, the army has stuck. The army still has the uniform made here.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, yes, they do.
The last time I saw them import half-size uniforms from China.
Yeah, well, it served them right. They learned their lessons, now they make it here. Yeah. But now...
Prof.
Yes.
Are you being realistic?
Very realistic.
Or is this
100% realistic?
Is this you in a phantom world of some form?
I'm not only being realistic, I'm being actualistic. I'm being factualistic. I am 1,000,000% realistic.
You really sound phantom, idealistic.
Are you telling me?
Sleeping somewhere and dreaming of...
You have even lost the appetite. You know what happens to you? You have even lost appetite for building an independent nation. So that when I paint a picture to you, for you, you just see white people. You have a white person sitting at the back, and every time I'm talking about black people and your own ability to create, you're thinking something else. You're telling me I'm not realistic that they can make a table. Why do you have this table here? Are there not a table is supposed to serve what function? This is like putting a book. If I was to put this on the table, this is what the table does. Are you now telling me that we are not even capable of making that? Are we not capable of making a chair? If we are not capable of making lighting, yes, buy that from outside. But what about what we are able to make? I look around your studio. When I enter the studio, I first look, because I'm allergic to things made from outside. In this studio, there is not a single thing made here. And you are
I am made in Uganda.
No, you have been manufactured. you have been manufactured elsewhere. What is on you now that shows that you are even African or Ugandan? Tell me.
I am.
What? Because you are black?
My skin.
Your skin. Well, there are people in Australia who are darker than you. They are African too, yes. But they are not
They're Australian, actually.
Yes.
They are not African.
No, they are African. They came from Africa. They populated Australia from Africa. If an elephant lives here and goes to India, you know, it's still an elephant. If it gives birth, it will give birth to an elephant.
Sure. We seem not to arrive, because realistically, do you expect economies to embargo themselves to a level that will create development? Because I know that the Asian countries tried a level of embargo.
Really?
Closing themselves in, what we call the Asian tigers. They closed themselves in, but only to a certain level. And to be able to catapult themselves into tigers and possibly lions subsequently, it was to open up to the West and say, okay, we've developed enough, now we can sell to you.
Okay, let's take the examples of these countries that you are talking about. Number one, let's talk about India. You know why there is a loom in the Indian flag? Because at one time, Gandhi called all his followers, told them to remove their clothes and put the clothes in the bonfire, burnt them, told them go back to the spinning wheel. Because what Britain had done was destroyed India's capacity to make clothes, so they had lost even the skills. They were getting the clothes from the Lancashire mills. So Gandhi burnt the clothes, told the Indians to wear their own clothes. And that is why even in the flag of India, there is a loom. They started making their own clothes. And they started making it well. And that is why when you invite an Indian, he comes dressed in Indian clothes. Now, I tell you another example, China. The biggest tiger, because China is a beautiful example.
I don't know whether they are still tigers. They could have become lions or elephants.
Okay,
Carry on.
okay. You are talking about tiger economies, but elephant would even serve us better. You know? Look at what China did during the Cultural Revolution. You know what the Cultural Revolution was? Anybody who studied in England or in America, anybody who had a degree, who could speak English, they shot them. They killed them all.
Madness.
Madness? Look at what it did.
Find me a better word. Find me a better word other than madness.
Back to their own culture, to their own language, to their own history. And they started, the first tractor they made was driving in reverse. This was up to 1967. Everybody thought China would collapse. But look at that transition and what has happened to China now. Nationalistic. They see everything, they want to make it. It's in their consciousness. It was achieved by bloodshed, because you can't have a revolution without bloodshed. All revolutions are based on land, and how do they achieve them? Bloodshed. And that's what China did. Now, don't say that you can't. You can't, you can. And those are the two examples that tells you that yes, you can.
Moyogwa Gwanga says, what is the place of religion in African development?
Disaster. That's what it is. Religion is
Moyogwa Gwanga will come back. Don't go away.